Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so as planned, we will talk about data frame, right? So what's data frame and how to manipulate the values inside data frames. Okay, that's the topic for now. So data frame, okay, if you remember, it's a table structure, right? It's a two-dimensional array-like thing, but it has um, a column header, right? So data is in table format. You have table will have rows and columns, right? Columns will have each specific type of information, right? And then of course each row represents information about one particular thing. Okay, so that's why they call it as one record. Okay, so each row is called a record because it represents one type of information. So let's try to create, okay, let's say, did we do this? No, I don't think so, right? Okay, let's try. Let's see if you remember. So I'm going to create a student record. I'm going to say student, okay, dot record or something, okay? So this is student record, and I'm going to say this is data frame, okay? So data dot frame, okay? And all the columns that you want to give to this will come here. So let's say I want to give roll number. So I'll say roll number, okay, and equal to, and let's say I create 3 student records. So I'll say 101 to 103. Okay. And then I create names. So I'll say names equal to, okay, and I'll give like Sachin, Lakshman, Rahul, Zahir, and Naira. Okay, I give 5. So let me give 5 here. Okay. So these are students. Let's say we give them their city. Okay, so Mumbai, Hyderabad. Okay. Let's say I'll add one more column called department. Okay, so I say batsman and with this. Okay. And I say okay, so I think I'm good. And let me run this, and then I'm going to print this. Student dot record. So see, we got this in table format. So we have 4 columns and 5 rows, right? Okay. Now let's say I want to know the types of column. So there's something called a str. Str of this will tell you the types of column here. Okay. So you get this. Okay. Then okay, so this is how you can get. So see, it says roll number is integer, name, city, department are all character, right? Because we have given a values in quotation, character values. Okay, you want to perform the summary. Okay, so summary of student record. Okay, oops, sorry, this spelling is wrong. Summary. Okay, so what it does is, if you have a numeric values, it will perform basic mathematical operation or basic stats basically. So you have mean. So we have number from 1 to 5, right? 101 to 105. So mean is 101. Your first quartile is 102. Median, mean, third quartile, and maximum. So it has given us this information, basic information. Okay. And for character, it will give us the length, how many characters are there. Okay. And that's it. Okay. So if character, it will say 5. That means you have 5 values in that column. Okay. So we have seen string. We have seen summary. Okay. Okay. Now let's say you want to get specific information from this. Okay. You don't want all the columns. You want specific columns. So there are 2 ways to do it. One way is using the ID, column ID, row ID. Okay. And second way is by giving column names. Okay. So let's say I want to display only name. I don't want to display any other column, right? So what we do is, okay, see, data frame is important. Okay. As you go to advanced operations in R, everything, 99% of the stuff you'll convert it to data frame and use it. Okay. So these things, what we're doing is important. Okay. We have come almost close to our, or you can say we have done with basic, we are in advanced topic. So soon, maybe next 2-3 classes, we should be able to wrap up. Okay. Okay. So here I talk about, say name, right? So I'm going to say print student record. This is the data frame dollar. Okay. Dollar sign will help us to choose which column you want to display. Okay. So I want to display name. Okay. So dollar, and you can select name from here. Okay. So now you get only the name here. Okay. So you got as a vector. Okay. So it gave us only the values as a vector, all the names, right? Okay. Now let's say, okay, so this is first method where we are giving the name. Okay. Second method is when we give the I'm sorry, I've got bad cold. So second method is when we give only the reference, okay, not the name. So say print, okay, student record, okay, okay. Now number of columns, number of rows, okay. How many columns, how many rows? So I want all rows, okay. First row, then column, right? I want all rows. So I didn't give anything. When I don't give anything, it became all rows. So I did not give anything here before comma. After comma, I'm saying I want name is your second column, right? So I'll say 2. See, got the same output. So either you say data frame dollar column name, or you say data frame square bracket, okay, blank for all rows, comma 2 means you want second column. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and if you want more, you can give more values as well. Let's say I need 2, 4. Okay, so 2's name and department is 4. So I'll say 2, 4. So I'll go here and I'll say, okay. Now, if I want to if I say 2 to 4, 2:4, okay, so I'll get what? I'll get 2, 3, and 4, right? But let's say I want 2 and 3. Now, if I give 2 and 3, okay, then I cannot give 2 comma 3, because when you give 2 comma 3, what it assumes is that this is your first dimension, second dimension, and it'll assume this is a third dimensional structure, third dimensional array, third dimensional structure, but it's really not third dimensional array, then it's 2-dimensional. So we need to club them together. We need to club them together. Okay, so how do you club them? So you give this bracket and you say C. C means it's a vector. Okay, so you got 2 and 3. Yeah. If you want 2 and 4, yeah, 2 and 3 can just say 2:3, right? You don't have to create a vector. But if you want 2 and 4, non-continuous, right? So now you see, you get second column and fourth column. Okay. Here you say comma, student record dollar department. So this will also give us, oops, what happened? Student record. Okay. So what's the problem here? You tell me. Print, can it take 2 parameters? Print cannot take 2 parameters. So what do we do? If you have to, if you have to do 2 uh, columns together, 2 values together, can we use print? No, you can't use print, right? So what we have to do is we have to
Paste.
create, yes, right, okay, paste. Or what I'm going to do here is I'm going to club them together as a new data frame. So I'm going to say here temp data frame, something like this, okay, equal to, okay, equal to data.frame of. Okay, now I'm going to say temp data. So what it did, I created a new temporary data frame. So let me see, yeah, this worked and this worked. So now I ended up getting one data frame, which is based on the columns of other data frame. Yeah, you got the logic?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Next, what we'll do is we'll try to add an extra column to our main data frame. Okay, so we have a data frame which is student record, which has 4 columns, isn't it? So let me print again student record. So I'm going to say print student dot record, and you run it, you get all this one. I'm going to add a new column. So what I'm going to say, simply I'm going to say student dot record dollar. Okay, and let's say I say AVG or average. Let's say I say average. I simply I give the column name. Okay, assuming that it is a column of the data frame, and I can give it a value. So of course I need to give 5 values. Okay, so for each of these things I gave, let's say 59 comma 54 comma 50 comma 23 comma 22. Okay, And now, okay, so let's run this. Okay, no error. Now let's go and print student record again. You see, additional column got added, right? So it's so easy to add a column, not record, column got added. Adding a row is called adding a record. But here, what we did was we just added a column. Yes, easy.
Yeah.
I think we did this. You guys never told me. I somehow remember that last week we did this.
Yeah, we did do it.
You guys are silently listening. Okay. Okay, no problem. Okay, so and how do we add row? Remember? How to add a new row? How do we do that?
Can't we just like change the add one to the roll number and then
How
just
will you add? How will you add one to the roll number?
like say 101 to 106 and then add one parameter to like each thing?
No, that is going back and changing the main thing, right? Adding means what? You have a data, and how will you change it? Okay, you can't
Oh,
go and manipulate the original values. You can't do that, right? So let's say you submit your evaluation, and let's say your teacher gives you low marks, but you go back and you say that that you did it this and you expect more. Then they can't go back and edit. They'll have to create new data, right? Or let's say a new student joins the class. You have to do it again. You can't go back and change the original thing. So if you refer the video, we have done it using rbind. So you create new data frame, okay, and then using rbind, you can bind two data frame together, and it will, when you say rbind, it will add the second data frame below the first data frame. So you know the resultant data frame will have the new row. Okay. Okay. So now let's say I'm just thinking, what do we do? Okay, so let's take an example. Okay, let's go back to an Excel, and then we'll come back to R. Just a second. Okay, so let's say we have a record here, okay, which has, let's say, your college record. So let's say roll number, name, and say grade, phone, email, etc. Let's say this. Okay, so this is one set of data frame. Now your teacher has another set of data frame. Roll number, name, okay, and let's say you have English evaluation. Let's say you have Spanish evaluation. let's say you have French evaluation. Okay, let's say, you know, there are 3 languages they're teaching you, and these are the languages, and you have the average here. Now they want to make a proper report by combining these 2 data frames. Is it possible to combine these 2 data frames? Is it possible? Can you combine?
Like, do you mean by adding the 3 rows to like
Yeah,
the
of
first
course.
data frame?
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you will add. Otherwise, how is the other way to add? No, that's the only way you will be able to add it. Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, so see, when you work with SQL programming, SQL programming, database, or data frame from programming perspective, okay, what we're doing is we are handling data, right? And data will be in different rows, different columns, okay, different database, different format. Okay, we need to read them and manipulate. So one way, okay, is that when you have data in 2 different tables, okay, and you need to combine them, okay, for some reason. Okay, let's say you know, teacher wants to send email to all of you about the evaluation, but she may not have the you know, the email ID. She has to ask the admin department to provide you email. So this table, first table, let's say, is owned by admin department. So admin department will give all the student from particular grade, let's say. Now you need to pick email and add to your own, right? We call these as merge. Okay, okay, when you have to merge 2 content from 2 table, okay, okay, we call it as merge operation. Okay, and there are you know, more than one type of merge. Okay, I'll show you how it works. Okay, theoretically how it works, and then we'll see in R. So let's say you have roll number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you have some information here. Here you have roll number 1. Okay, 2 is not in this grade, let's say, and 3 is not in this grade. 4 is in this grade. Then you have 5 and 6. Okay. Now, generally 5 and 6 will not be here because the second table is supposed to be the subset of first table, right? But let's say, you know, for our for our learning sake, let's say, okay, table 2 also has some extra information. Table 1 also has some extra information. Normal merge, what happens is, okay, when you merge this together, normal merge, since you have these, okay, we are merging A plus B, right? So you will end up getting all the columns from here and all the columns from here. But here, these 2 columns are same. So there's no need to repeat it. And you'll get these columns from here and you'll put it here. This is how the merge will look like. Any questions so far, Keshav and Gauri?
No.
Keshav, when you merge the 2 tables together, this is how the output table would look like. We'll come to the values later. Keshav, is he not able to speak today?
Can you not hear me?
No, I couldn't hear before. No, I can.
Okay.
Okay, so did you get this? How the output table will look like?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is how the output table will look like, right? Okay, fine. Now let's talk about the data, how the data will get populated. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and second you have 1, 4, 5, 6. So first, I'm going to talk about what is called as normal merge, okay, or we call it as inner merge. Okay, inner merge, okay, and inner merge is the by default one. When you say merge, that's what it means. So what it says is, okay, when you take 2 data set, okay, this happens in SQL also. Okay, so the concept is there in database programming as well. Okay, so default merge is inner merge, and this is what happens here. I'm sorry, color it differently. Okay, so you take the common so on what are you merging? So generally we'll have a unique value, right? What we call as primary key. So you will be merging on the primary key, unique values. Name could be duplicate, right? So that's why we don't use name to merge. We will use, okay, roll number to merge, right? Because name can be duplicate, right? So there will be confusion, but roll number will be unique to everyone. Okay, so we will be using a roll number or student ID or something which is very unique to each student in that particular school. So I'm going to use a roll number here, right? So in roll, you are saying the merge on roll number, right? So I'm going to merge on roll number. Now here in roll number, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 5, 6. So common is 1 and 4. So it will take the name and grade and phone from here for 1 and 4 and other values from here, and you will have all these columns populated. Okay, the default merge or the inner merge, the values on the table which are not common will not be taken into consideration. Okay, not taken into consideration. Okay, so that's called normal merge. You have something called as outer merge, right? If you have inner, you'll have something outer. But outer is not as simple. Outer can be your left outer or right outer. What happens in left outer is, so when you're saying merge, you will have one table on left side or the table on right side. First table, basically. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not well. Okay, so here you will have 1 and 4 common, which is true. Okay, 1 and 4 will be there. Okay, so 1 and 4 will look exactly like your inner merge. Okay, plus when I say left outer, let's say if this table is on the left side, you will get this additional rows as well, 2, 2 and 3. Yeah, I've taken some cough syrup. Yeah, so here 1 and 4 because it is common, and 2 and 3 will also be added because I said left outer. So in left outer, it will add these additional columns. Which one? 2 and 3. Okay, so 2 and 3 will have these values, and for these values for which there is no matching value, it will have NA, blank. Okay, here in R we call it NA, some language it could be something else. Okay, that means not available text. Okay, this is called left outer. In right outer, you will have 1 and 4, and you will have this additional columns from here, which is 5 and 6. Okay, and for these columns, when you don't have this corresponding values, you will have NA here. Okay, and these values will be picked from here. Any question? Easy to understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And the last one is called full join. Full join means all these columns will be here. So you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, guys. This 5, 6 will be blank here, and 2, 3, and 4. These values will be blank. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so there are a lot of data set, okay, which are inbuilt present in R. So because R is designed for machine learning and data analysis, right? So it has a lot of data, okay, and that's what we'll be doing. Okay, when we work on advanced concepts, we will use the inbuilt data set only for our analysis purpose. So okay, so I'm going to talk about one data set which is called as PIMA. Okay, so you have PIMA.te and PIMA.tr. Okay, so let's go back to our studio. Print PIMA.te. Okay, let's run this and see. Okay, for this, I think we have to call a package library. Okay, so something called as mass. Okay, so mass is a library in R which has this data set. Okay, so to use any library, there are two steps. First, install that library, and second, you have to use that library. Okay, to check if mass MASS, okay, if mass library is installed or not, right? To check if it is installed or not, you need to go here. You see this packages here? You click here. If you click here, you will see the list of all the packages, the library installed here. Okay, so it's because I've got long list, it'll take a little time. You can actually go down or you can search here. MASS. Right? So see this, I have it. Supports functions and data sets for enables and replace mass function. Okay. If you do not have, you simply go to install, okay, and type here MASS. Okay, see, you'll get from here. You click here and you say install. When you click on install, okay, it'll start installing here. Or you can directly type install.packages. Okay, so it'll connect and it will start installing. Okay, so this is how you install a particular package. Okay, so this is install. So first step is done. Install.packages, it is installed. Okay, then second step is to use it, right? To use it, you simply check this box. Okay, if this box is checked, that means this now we are able to use it here. Now when I go and run it, it should come. You see this? This is the data in PIMA.te data frame. Did you get it? What I did, guys? instead of creating our own data frame, I'm going to use inbuilt data frame, pima.te. This is part of mass package. Okay, so you have to first install the package. You can click on install from here. Okay, and then type mass. Okay, or there's on main menu also we have an option here. On tools, you go to tools and say install packages. Same window will open, and you can type here mass and then say install. So it will get installed, and then to use it, you have to say library of mass, or you simply call this or check this box. So mass is available, and mass has pima.t data frame, and I'm going to use this one. Yeah, and these are the columns this data frame has. It has NP, reg, blue, BP, skin, BMI, PED, age, type. Yes, Keshav, you're saying something.
I wasn't.
So you got it? Any question here?
No.
Keshav, any question here?
No.
Awesome. Great. Okay. So this is how we can get inbuilt data set. Okay, data frame. Okay, so we have Pima, and Pima has these columns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Okay. Okay, so these are the columns in Pima T, right? So you can also find the names using dim names. Okay. What is dim name? Okay, so
Wait,
let's
can you repeat that?
okay. So I'll do it again. Okay. So what I'll do is so let me talk about a couple of more other functions that are helpful. First one is called ncol. Ncol means number of columns. Okay, and I give the data frame name. So sorry, pima.te, right? Okay, pima.te, and when you run it, so number of columns are 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Or you want to know the number of rows, you say n row. Okay, so how many rows are there?
332.
Right. Okay. Now we have something called as names. These are functions which are good to know because these will be very helpful later. Names, and I say pima.te. So see, the names will give you all the column names. Okay, great. Now I'm going to talk about another data frame which is called as pima.tr. Okay, so since Gauri is a biology student, she's going to tell us the difference between T and TR data frame. We're looking at the columns, right? What NP reg means, you don't know that? Okay, yeah, BP, glucose, BMI, skin, right? age, type. Okay, then you have second data frame, okay, which we call as, so I'm going to talk about, I'm going to simply say names prima dot tr. We'll be using tr. Okay, and when you run it, you see these are the columns. So it has exactly same set of columns, right? So it has same set of columns, maybe for taken at two different times to different zone. Okay, if you type here, isn't it? A population of women who are at least 21-year-old of Pima, Indian heritage, etc. So you can actually see the information. But yeah, so we have two data frame. They have same column, okay, names, okay, and mm, yeah. Now I want to merge the information from table 1 to table 2. Okay. Now see here, we do not have a primary key like roll number here. Okay. So what we are going to assume is that we are going to assume that two columns, okay, BP and BMI are, okay, are okay. So why to do that? Let's try with our own data set first, then we'll come back to. So we have student record, right, which talks about 1 to 105, okay, name, city, department, average, right? Now I'm going to create student record 2, right? So I'm going to say student 2 dot record equal to data dot frame, okay, and here I want to add first roll number equal to C. I'm going to say 104 to 5, 6, 7. Let's say 107. 4, 5, 6, and 4 columns. Okay. So now it will have additional columns, isn't it? Okay. So roll number. Now I'm going to add say, what was that? English eval and maths, French eval. Okay. French eval. Let's say we'll have just these two columns. Okay. So I'm going to say here A 1 to 4, right? B A D, right? Here I'm going to say C B C, and let's say I use A. Okay, great. So we got print student 2 dot record. Great. So let's run this and this. Okay, so we got, right? Okay. Now we'll merge. Okay, so we'll merge student record and student 2 record, right? So I'm going to say merge 1. Okay, and or instead of that I'll say okay, merge 1 dot inner, I call it. Okay, merge dot inner. Okay, and okay, so I'm going to say equal to merge is the function. Okay, so when you are doing it, we have to use merge. Okay, merge what? So merge, we are merging two columns, left and right, right? So we call it as X and Y basically. So I'm going to say X equal to student dot record. Okay, so I'm putting the first record on the left and second record on the right. So I'm going to say y equal to student to that record. Okay, so these are the two data frames that I want to merge. Then it says by. By means how? I mean, not how, sorry, by means by. By what? By what? By which column? Okay, so here I said, right, use primary key. So I'm going to say using roll number. So I'm going to say by, okay, the common is roll number. Okay, now let's run this and see if there's any error here. Okay, no, it worked fine. So see, I did not mention the type of merge. I mentioned only by column. Okay, type I didn't mention. So I told you, right, by default, when you don't mention any type, it is inner, right? So it should be like the first one. So which will display the common elements only. So what are the common values? Roll number 104 and 105. Okay, so when I print this, print merge one dot inner, okay, it should give me only two rows here, right? 105, 104, and 105. Yes, exactly what we discussed before. Yes,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about, okay, the left outer. Left outer, left is X, isn't it? So I'm going to copy this just to save time. And I'm going to rename it merge. I call it as merge. Okay, the merge to, let me say merge, and we say left outer, right? So left outer. Okay, so here I said by roll number is fine. Okay, then we have to add one more parameter to indicate what kind of merge we are doing, right? We are doing left outer. Left is X, so we say all dot X. All dot X equal to true. Okay, now X means what I'm saying, all of X, outer, left outer. Okay, we have values 1 to 5. So we will get 1 to 5. Okay, not just 4 and 5, but 1 to 3 as well. And the values, we don't have corresponding values in the second table, right, in the Y table. So we will get null values. Okay, so let's see this. I'm going to run it and run it. You see this? NA, not available. Okay, if I say all Y, it becomes right outer, right? All Y. Okay, so it is right. Right means second value. Second value is Y. Right outer. So when we run this, no error, good. This, no, we did not run it. We have to run it. So see, 104, 105, and 106 and 7 got printed because we said write all. Okay. Second, the next option is we say all, full outer. Okay, full outer. So for full outer, we say all. You can say full, you can say full outer, whatever. Okay, so let me run this. No error, isn't it? No error. So again I go and run this. You see that? All the columns 101 to 107 has been printed. Yeah. So now you know the meaning of merge: left merge, right merge, inner merge, outer merge, full merge.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So this is how you can merge, two different tables. Okay, if there is some commonality between them. Okay. Okay. Now coming back to, we'll change our attention to the schema. So in Pima, since we do not have any primary key, okay, and Gauri can tell us that if BMI and BP is similar, okay, is almost same, then we can probably assume that all the data are same. Let's assume that. Nothing wrong in assuming. We are learning, so I'm going to say merge data, okay, merge, okay, so merge X and Y. So we'll put Pima dot TE TR, okay. Now by dot X equal to, okay, and same thing we'll do for by dot X, because here we don't by dot Y, because here we don't have any common, right? So I'm going to say by on X you take these two columns, on Y you take these two columns, because see, first case we did not had to give, okay, because column names are same, it was roll number same. But let's say if roll number was not same, in one table it is called R number, second column says roll number, right? Two different. Then you can say by dot X equal to R number, by dot Y equal to roll number. Okay. So here I'm going to say BP, right? BP and BMI. So BP, comma, BMI. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Okay. Right. And then after running this, we'll print it. Merge dot data, right? That's so I run it here. Oh, payment T not found. Payment TR, not T. T, right? Pine. Spelling mistake. Okay. So yes and yes. You see that it says column, common column, right? So dot X dot Y. You can compare two different results as well. So if the column names are same, it will say dot X dot Y. Yes. Yes. No.
Yeah.
This is how you can merge two different data set. Okay, so I think this is what we need to do in reshaping. Okay, Now we will try to read from different files. Okay. So I'm just thinking. Okay, so let's try to read the data from files. So what we have done is we have created our own data, isn't it? We created our own data. We have used inbuilt data as well. Okay. Now let's say you have data in an Excel file. Okay, and you want to read the data from Excel file to your data frame. Okay, to your R basically, and then operate on it. So let's take this. Okay, and I'm going to create a data. You have to delete it. Let's go up. Let's go to okay. So let's say 5, and I'm going to say searching Lakshman Rahul Mehra Zakir. Okay, grade B A B B A. Phone 12345 23456 21345 54321 34125. Okay, s@s.com, l@l.com, r@r.com, n@n.com, z@z.com. Okay, so let's say this is the data. I'm going to save this file. I'm going to say file, file, save as, and Excel workbook. Okay, so when I say Excel workbook and I put it in C, and in C I have a folder for data. Let's see there. So let's say I put it in test. Okay, and I call it as book 1. Okay, so book 1.xlxx, and it is in C test. Okay, great. Now, first of all, to work with our file, okay, or any file, okay, we need to have a different library. Okay, so different library is used to work with different file type. So to work with R, we need a package called as XLXX package. Okay, save it, coming back here and go to package and see XLSX. Okay, so not there, so I'm going to say install XLXX. Okay, and you say okay, install. Okay, so this is now available. To use it, I will check it. Okay, so now I can start using. So I'm going to say working with Excel files. Okay. Okay, now we need to read the file, isn't it? We have something called as working directory. Okay, if your working directory is where this R file is, then you don't have to mention the path. But let's say we don't know the working directory. Okay, right now we don't know. So then how will you read it? So I'm going to say data frame, or I'll simply use df, okay, for short form. Df equal to read dot xlx. Okay. Now I'll give the path c colon slash double slash test, and then we had book1 dot xlx. Okay, so this is the file. See, but Excel file will have sheet name as well. It's not one file. Okay, so it will have multiple sheet, right? So you can give the sheet name, or you can use what is called as sheet index. So our data is in sheet index. What's the name of the sheet? Here you see, this is below, you see bottom, this is called sheet name. So where our data is, it's called sheet name, and index is also index is 1 here. Okay, second sheet you see here, this is sheet 2 and index is 2. So our data is in sheet 1, okay, index is 1. So let's go and mention it here. So I'm going to say sheet index equal to 1. And now you can print the content. Okay, so let's read this and see if it is able to read it not. Okay, okay. So yeah, future release not there, but at least in this release it's there. So we can work towards it. So see, data is now read. Once you read it from Excel, now you can perform whatever analysis that you want to do here. Okay, so this is how you read it, and data is read it as data frame. When whatever you want to do with this, you can do it. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Similarly, we have something called as CSV file. Okay. So you can read the content from CSV file. Do you know what CSV file is? Keshav?
What?
CSV file.
No.
Maybe Keshav is busy with something else. Gauri, you know what CSV files are?
Hello?
No.
Okay. So CSV files are called as comma separated files. Okay, or comma separated values. That's what name CSV, comma separated values. So you can create. So let's say I'm going to say notepad. I'm going to type a notepad here. Okay, and I give some value. So each value is separated by comma. In fact, later we'll see that you can use anything other than comma, but default values is comma. That's what it's called, comma separated values. So let's say first row is our title, isn't it? So I'm going to say name, then say city, then say type. Now, so this is the first row. So first row has how many values? It has 3 values, because comma is what separates different values. So 2 comma means 2 or 3 values. Now name is, let's say, Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin space Tendulkar. Even though you give space here, it will not treat it as 2 different values, because I'm going to save it. Okay, we are going to save it as comma separated file. So comma will only look for, it will only look for comma for separating the values. Okay, I can give something like this also. Okay, you can give any value, doesn't really matter, because it will look for comma. And I give comma here. Let's say I don't want to give the city. I'll say comma here. I don't want to give type also. I'll say comma here. Okay. Anyway, last one is there, so I just say comma. So I don't have value for city. I don't have value for type. Now let's say I give Lakshman here, comma Hyderabad, comma batsman. Let's say I say Ashish, comma, Delhi, comma, baller. Okay, so I'm going to save this as C test, and I'm going to call this as my CSV dot CSV. Dot CSV, when you save, it means that it is a comma separated file. We also have something called stats.csv. We can read it later. Okay, so same folder I'm saving as my csv.csv. I save it. Okay, and I close it. Okay, now we are going to read the CSV file. Okay, I'm going to read the CSV file from here. So to read CSV, I need to say read.csv. Okay, so just like we had read.xlx, it read the xlx file. To read the CSV file, we say read CSV file. Okay, so df2, I call it, equal to read.csv. Okay, and I give the path c colon slash test slash my csv dot csv, isn't it? And that's it. Our data is now ready. So first we execute it. Okay, incomplete final line found by red tab my csv.csv. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now let's display and see. Print df2. You see, it has read this. Now see here. Okay, we gave Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, so that's why I took these big name for, and we had blank. So see, the values are blank here. Okay, we said comma comma, so value, there's no value between the comma, so there's no value here, blank and blank. Okay, so this is how you can give blank values in CSV, and we read it. Okay, so this is ready. Okay, and now again, like when you read it at data frame, you can perform a lot of different things on data frames, right? Okay, so we will spend some time. So we are running short of time for this session, right? Are you guys okay for another 40 minutes?
No, we have another class.
You got another class. Okay, fine then. So we'll stop here. Okay, maybe we have a few more minutes, so we'll talk about the working directory. Okay, and then how to read and how to operate, analyze. We'll see in the next class. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Okay, what is working directory? So okay, can come here as well. So see down here, I'm going to type what is called as get wd. Wd means working directory. Working directory. When I run it, so see, it is pointing to C users SWAPN documents. That is my current working directory. So if I save something or if I read it without giving path, it will look for this path. That means this is a default path. But let's say for this project, I want to move it to C test, let's say. So then what I'll do is I'll use something called as set. Get means get value, set means I'm setting. So set wd, working directory. Okay, and here I will give the path where I want to set the working directory. So I say test here. So now if you say get wd, you see this is pointed to C test. Now when I'm pointing to C test, now if I have to read this CSV file, I don't have to give this entire path because that's my default directory is here. So if I don't give any directory, it will look in the working directory. If I give a specific directory, it will look in that given directory. But here I'm not mentioning which directory to look for. So if I say df3, okay, read.csv, and I say my CSV, no, yeah, correct, right? My CSV dot CSV. Okay, when I hit it, okay, now I say print df3. So it's printing because it has read it from the working directory. So I have set it the working directory as a directory which I want. You can keep on changing it, whenever you want to. Yes, that's the significance of setting up working directory. Okay, so yeah, then we will end it here for today, and next class when we meet, I'll talk about how to how to manipulate. Okay, so so when you use SQL programming, right, so you have where clause, things like that. So how can we do similar kind of where clause in R? Okay, we'll learn in next class. Sounds good? Shall we end it?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have
Thank you.
a great day ahead. Thank you so much. Yeah, talk to you
Thank you.
next week. Yeah, bye. Take care.